Alright guys, I have not been to a movie theater in a month. Believe it or not, the last movie I saw in the theaters was Let's Be Cops, an absolute atrocity by the way. And I saw that movie basically a month ago in mid-August. Now we're in mid-September and I have finally gone to the movie theaters. Gone to the actual theater and watched a movie. It's been a while guys. And of course, the movie I picked to see today, after having not seen a movie in the theaters for a month, was this movie. Oh, what a great choice. Anyway, guys, hey there, what's up? It's Autobot Mike 18 here with another movie review. Guys, sorry I haven't seen a new release in the last 4 weeks. Probably a part of that reason is not because I've been busy and, I'm getting, back, I'm starting school and everything and all that. That's not really why. It's just the last 4 weeks I've seen some really crappy meh movies come out and I just didn't even bother to go see them. But, nevertheless, guys, we are into the fall movie season. The first movie I have seen of the fall movie season is No Good Deed. Yes, I went to go see this movie this weekend. It's a new thriller starring Idris Elba and Taraji P. Henson. I probably just said her name wrong, but what am I going to do? And it's directed by Sam Miller, who I've never heard of before. And we have No Good Deed. And I know a lot of you are probably like, why didn't you go see The Drop first this weekend? Please don't be afraid. The Drop, it's James Gandolfini's last movie starring Tom Hardy and James Gandolfini himself. I will be seeing that movie possibly Monday, okay? I didn't forget about that, and a lot of you are going to be like, why did you see this over that? I'm going to be seeing The Drop. I just wanted to see this first and get this review up first. But nevertheless, No Good Deed. Yeah, it's a movie I really wasn't dying to go see, wasn't really hyping or anticipating it. The trailer was meh, and I'm like, I'll go see it, why not? It's a thriller. Thrillers can go either way for me. They can either really work, and they can either really suck. Very rarely are they right in the middle, and I'll get into my thoughts on No Good Deed, with No Good Deed in a second. The first thing I'm going to do is get into the plot behind No Good Deed, and let's get started. So the movie is about an escaped convict with a very violent past, played by Idris Elba. He escapes from prison once the movie finally begins. Well, he doesn't necessarily escape from prison. He is trying to get parole, and he is denied it, of course. And on the transport truck back to prison, he kills everyone in the truck, escapes, gets free, and is back on the loose on the rampage. Now, that's not technically what this movie's about, but that's what the trailer makes you think this movie's about. So that's what I'm going to say, because there's something else going on in this movie, but I don't want to give it away for the sake of spoilers if you do decide to see No Good Deed. But anyway, so stealing this truck, he gets in this car accident, and it's in the middle of a thunderstorm, and winds up at this huge house of this mother, played by Taraji P. Henson. She has 2 young children, and her very uncharismatic husband is away for the weekend. And, of course, Idris Elba, approaches her and, comes to her house and obviously tells her, oh, I got into an accident, can I use your phone or whatever? And, of course, Taraji P. Henson's character makes the dumb mistake of letting him into the house. And there we go. The movie basically becomes a home invasion thriller. You got this killer inside this woman's house. She has her babies. She needs to protect them. And that's your movie. That's No Good Deed. Now, that's basically what happens. And even though No Good Deed is marketed as a home invasion movie, and it actually is marketed as this random home invasion movie where this escaped convict just happens to go to this woman's house and be like, oh, hey, can I use your phone? And then it looks like he's going to, go after her, want to kill her and her kids. Yeah, the movie is marketed that way, but trust me, there is something else going on in this movie, and it's revealed towards the end of the film. That's all I want to say about that. But getting into my thoughts on No Good Deed itself, here's the thing, guys. We've seen this before, okay? I'm going to be honest with you. No Good Deed is not a great movie. It's not a bad movie. There is one redeemable thing. There's a few redeemable things, actually, as a matter of fact, that I found with the movie. Other than that, it's your average thriller with the cliches, the coincidences, the dumb characters, the predictable plot points, the bad writing, the bad dialogue. Well, not bad, but meh, the average, really the dialogue that needs work, let me just say that much. That is what No Good Deed is. And honestly, however, there is a plot twist in this movie. Towards the end of the movie, I'm not going to lie to you guys, it did something for me. It is the best part of this movie. And that is honestly why I liked this movie as much as I did. I don't hate this movie, and I'm not going to say it's one of the worst of the year, and definitely never watch it. I'm just not going to say go rush out and see this movie, because it's not really worth it in that sense. The plot twist isn't enough to save the rest of the movie. Even though, I have to admit, had the rest of the movie been as good as the final act had been, it would have been a really good thriller. I mean, all they needed to do was to fix the writing and have less cliches, less predictable moments, and less dumb characters. Had they made the characters smart and intelligent, and had they actually done things differently, added a lot more tension into the scenes, because a lot of scenes felt tensionless, and that's ultimately what got me to feel a little bored as the movie goes on. But, yeah, that's No Good Deed, though. I mean, it had potential with the solid writing of the final act, but just the first two acts just aren't really worth your time. Apart from the performances of Idris Elba and Taraji P. Henson. That's what I'm going to get into now real quick. They are two really good actors. Idris Elba is a really good actor, and Taraji P. Henson, I haven't really seen her in too many movies, but she's not bad herself either. You know, she's been Karate Kid, and she was on that show, CBS, Person of Interest, and Idris Elba has done Obsessed, which actually, you know what, that wasn't that great. But he did the Thor movies as well. He's been in a few other movies I haven't seen him in as well. But both of them are really good actors, and I can say this much, they're honestly the best parts of No Good Deed. If ever the movie felt boring and bland and just absolutely dumb and cliche-ridden, which it is, yes, that does happen. You do feel that way about the movie. But honestly, Idris Elba and Taraji P. Henson, definitely their performances are two of the best things going for this movie. They really are. Idris Elba did a really good job as a sadistic man with a violent past, who, honestly, they tried to develop him in the beginning, but it just didn't work. Like, I just didn't care. And even though I really didn't even care about Taraji P. Henson's character, like, they show her in the beginning, she has a terrible husband who just, like, he just doesn't care about her, and I'm like, why are you still with him? Just divorce him and move on with your life. I mean, he's just so boring, and he just leaves for the rest of the movie. And, they tried to develop her. They tried to develop her with her kids, and now she's struggling with them. She's struggling mother, whatever. It just really doesn't work. Even though they themselves were really good in the movie, the performances were really good. I just really didn't care for any of the characters or connect with them in any way or anything like that. No, didn't work. Also, that really, really insanely cute actress who was in Iron Man, who played the reporter in Iron Man, her name is Leslie Bibb. Remember, she played the reporter in Iron Man. You know, the two of them, you know, they were interviewing each other in the beginning scene, in one of the first scenes in Iron Man. She's in this movie, and yeah, she's another cliched character, alright? That's all I gotta say about that. But if I ever refer to the Iron Man reporter chick, that's who I'm talking about. Yeah, she's in this movie. Alright, anyway, guys, what can I say that I haven't said already about No Good Deed? Apart from, here's the thing. No Good Deed is a thriller that ultimately, and this is arguably the biggest problem of No Good Deed, it's a thriller that doesn't feel thrilling. It doesn't feel intense, and had its scenes been a lot more lively, had they actually been better written, and had they been filled with actual tension, and really, you know, that nerve-tingling, spine-tingling tension that you'd like to feel in some really solid thrillers, then the movie would have been a lot better. Like, take, for example, Captain America the Winter Soldier, a superhero movie that managed to completely be thrilling and intense. It's a superhero movie. It's more intense than this movie is. That's sad. I'll give this movie 2 scenes that really stood out. The final act as a whole was really good. And there was one other scene in the movie involving a cop that I thought was also very well done. And that was one of the only other tense scenes of the whole movie. Other than that, the first 40 minutes, 50 minutes of the movie is boring, cliche-ridden, predictable, filled with coincidences, you know, like a character is in hot water with another character, you know. Idris Elba's, here, I'll give it away, it's not spoiling anything. Idris Elba's character's about to be found out or whatever by another character that, you know, he's not who he is, who he says he is or whatever. And something happens and he gets out of the situation, you know, there's something involving a storm, okay? I'm sorry, but no, that's not how life is. Life isn't full of things that happen coincidentally to get you out of hot water. No, I don't buy that, and that happens a lot in this movie. That happens like 3 or 4 times. Other than that, guys, yeah, that's no good deed. I'm gonna, like I said, the plot twist is what saved this movie for me, and had it not been as good as it was, I would not have given I would have given 0 shits about this movie. So for that reason, because the plot twist is so solid, and because Idris Elba and Taraji P. Henson gave it their all, I'm gonna give No Good Deed a 7 out of 10, C-. I know that seems generous, and it does. But here's the thing for me. I'm a sucker for plot twists, especially plot twists that are done right. And they did the plot twist in No Good Deed very well. Because you do not see it coming. You do not expect it in the least. And it honestly shocks you. And you say to yourself, wow, that was actually really well thought out. If only the rest of the movie could have been as smart as the plot twist was. But because it wasn't, that is why I can't go any higher for No Good Deed. But 7 out of 10. And that doesn't mean I recommend you guys see this movie. Because I gave it a decent... C-. No, it's not a movie to be seen in the theaters. You skip it in the theaters. It's really not worth your money there. If you can find a way to see it in the theaters for like $5, $7, go see it that way. Other than that, I would recommend this movie as a rental. You know, get it from Redbox, watch it on a dark night. You won't feel the tension, but towards the end of the movie, you'll be really impressed with what the writers did with the plot twist, and you will be impressed with the performances. That's really all I can say about No Good Deed. And getting into the like, those are the only good things, those are the only 2 things I loved about the movie, by the way. The plot twist and the 2 leading performances. Other than that, everything else I didn't care for. The movie just really dragged on in the beginning. The first 2 acts were boring, they were bland. Part of it didn't even start to make sense. I did not care for the characters. The characters were dumb. I'm sorry, but why does every single character in a horror movie or thriller movie hit someone over the head with something, think they're dead, and try to escape, but they're obviously not dead, and then you're just going to leave them? No, I've seen it a billion times before. It doesn't work. Cliches, predictable moments, and dumb characters. That's No Good Deed. Oh, and bad dialogue. A little cringeworthy dialogue in the beginning. Other than that, that's all I have to say about No Good Deed. 7 out of 10. Go see something else this weekend in which you have to pay a lot of money for. I would say see this movie, very cheap price. But the plot twist was decent. It really was. I was impressed with it, but it's not enough to pay full price for. It's not. But I gave it such high score because I'm a sucker for plot twists. I like when they're done right, and I think they did this one very well. Other than that, I can't really give this movie anything else. So that's all I have to say about No Good Deed, guys. If you guys did decide to see it this movie, if you didn't listen to me and you wasted $10, $12, let me know what you thought about it down below. I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts on it as well. Did you like the plot twist, or did you just hate the movie as a whole, and were you, upset with all the cliches and all the terrible moments that the movie had, which there were a few. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for my review of The Drop, which will be coming shortly after this weekend. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.